Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Welcome, 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 welcome. Hello, everybody. I welcome you to this live video. How are you all doing? I hope you are all doing fine. Yeah. Um, I've not been feeling so great, so I decided to take the time off and rest and also have some time for myself. Um, During the time that I was away, a lot of things happened, and we lost a great icon in the person of Onyeka Onwenu. Of course, I don't know who doesn't love her. Maybe I'm thinking the person that will not love Onyeka Onwenu will be somebody that know her. Somebody that know her in her village or in her family or something that will have a personal something from with her. But for we that saw her growing up, she was there as kids, she was there the whole time. Even as adults, she was there, and she projected this. I don't know, like she was so poignant. She was so well spoken, articulate. She projected love, unity. That I think her message revolved around love, unity, peace. Yeah, I want to start this evening by giving my tribute to our sister that just passed. I mean, I don't know how to say this, but there are people that you never met, like you don't have anything other beyond seeing them on social media, on the media, because at the time she came to fame, there was no social media. You know, there was no social media. Yeah, I want to. I just want to appreciate the life she lived. At first, I was very angry when I learned that what happened. I was not like, it was really strange for me. I was like, why, And I don't know, like sometimes I wonder, like our people, African people, what is it with us that, like, um, I'm trying to put up her picture so that we are going to have it there. I don't know why I'm not seeing it again. Yeah. I don't want to have it like this. I think so it's better. Yeah, so it's better. Yeah. Good evening, Ugi. I greet you. You're welcome. Thank you. Yeah, so my people, I want to start this evening by giving my own heartfelt tribute and also condolence message to her family. I feel so saddened by hearing and learning about her loss. And this is somebody that we all saw growing up. She was there in the media, she was there on the news, she was there in Nollywood in the beginning. I will never forget her first video that I saw on Nollywood was it was conspiracy, and that video was kind of eye-opening for me, because up until that time, when something was happening, like village stuff, and would they say, oh, the gods are powerful, and that this juju, that somebody, for example, went to swear before the oracle, and then the person, something bad happening to them, and they eventually dying, will mean that the oracles were strong. And that video, I remember, I think the name was Conspiracy. Onyeko was there, and there was one man that they were accusing, and they said he was going to go and swear before the gods, and before she came, they conspired. Before he came to swear, they conspired in that shrine with the SMO, the person that was in charge. Correct me if I'm wrong. And they manipulated whatever it was that he was supposed to take. And when he did take it, he developed some kind of something prostrate or something like that. I remember that video, and it was eye-opening for me as a child then, because I was like, wow, so like, if this happened in the video. It means that most of those things that they were dragging land and somebody went to swear, you know how it always ended that the person, something happened to them and they are no more. Could this be what was going on? You know, I remember that video. I hope that the name is Conspiracy. It was very, very interesting that time. So is somebody that we have experienced, each and every one of us that is alive today have experienced her in one way or the other. And I've experienced her as a newscaster, I've experienced her as a musician. I remember the last music she did about Nigeria at Centenary. She was the one leading the song, and she was singing, 100, here we are. There's like she has a way with her songs. Like she's the kind of musician that you don't forget the lyrics. You like her songs are not songs that you don't know what they are talking about. Like you cannot understand what it's saying. Like these are people that their songs will never die. Like the kind of lyrics that they put, the energy they put in their songs, and the way they sing it's like a message to the world. And her message revolved around peace, around love, around unity. You understand? Like people loving each other, people having peace. Let there be peace in our heart, like that kind of song. And it hurts me. Like, how can you have a gathering of how many people, like well positioned people in the country, and they don't have a doctor there or what? Like, that was my first reaction. I was so angry. Like, why didn't they have a doctor there? Why didn't they have a first aid? Maybe if they had acted promptly, if they have reacted appropriately, if they have tried to perform CPR on the spot and try to revive her before doing anything, perhaps she will still be here. I mean, 72. I mean, 72 is a little way gone, but it could be more. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. You just have to accept it. So I I send my condolences to the family, and to her children, and to her brothers and her sisters, her loved ones, her husband, and the people she really lived day to day. I believe she's a beautiful soul, and yeah, the work she did is what will speak for her, and her work is there, is continuing to be speaking. And at the end of the day, the Bible said that we are all fading away like the stars of the morning, and we are losing our light, and when it comes down to it, it is our works that they will use to remember us. And I know that she has lived her life to the fullest. She have left her marks on this earth, and it will be there, whether she's here or not. The work she has done, we continue to um you know continue to go on after her. And I pray that we will get the message she left for us. And even as at the last performance, she was still singing that song, One Love, Keep Us Together. Because it's that love that is going to keep us together. At the end of the day, it's that love. And one of the problems that African people, we as African Black people have, is we don't have love. We don't have love. And that is the problem we have. And lack of love is showing itself in the form of tribalism. And the root cause of all the problems of Africa is tribalism. Tribalism, because we are, at the end of the day, African people, we are just tribes people defending our tribes, men and women. We don't have a consciousness that expands beyond tribe. And so you have to have a kind of love that transcends tribe. And before you can transcend tribe, you have to have abundant love. And that love will transcend. That before you begin to see the humanity in people who don't speak the same language that you speak, who don't have the same food that you like, who don't dance like you, that kind of a thing. Before you even get to people who have different physique, people who have different skin color, to that extent, we don't have love in Africa, and that's the major issue that African people have. And because of that lack of love, we have tribalism, and tribalism is the root cause of everything African nations are suffering, working against each other, working against our downfall, not seeing, not being able to walk beyond that tribalism, you understand, not trying to do anything about it, not seeing humanity in our own selves, because we don't have love. So, and she kept singing that song even as she was living. She's saying, one love, keep us together, living in a world that troubles, like we live in a world that with a lot of troubles and temptation, but the only thing that is going to see us through it at the end of the day is love, and that love is not just say I love you, kiss, kiss, kiss. It's love, like, seeing that this person is a human being like me, this person have need like me. If this thing is good for me, it's also good for this person. That's the kind of love she's talking about. Like we have politicians, they love to send their children abroad to go to the best school, to have the best education, to have the best food, because they don't have love. They don't see that the ordinary child on the streets in their villages also can do with that kind of food, because there are no love. There's Our politicians lack love, our leaders lack love. There's no love in Africa, in the heart of an African person. They only see themselves. They are not seeing you. You may be there, but they don't see you, they don't recognize. Because if I'm eating and I recognize that you are also a human being and you are hungry, my natural instinct, because of that love I have for you, that I want you to thrive also, I will give you water, I will give you, you do want some, I will give you some, I will share, but because there is no love, that's why they go there and loot. Because there's no love, that's why they have money to build road. They would rather loot that money, use that money, go and buy house abroad in Dubai, and there will be no road. The road is on paper. There will be no fire station. The fire station is on paper, because there's no love, you know. And that's the message she kept passing. One love. If we can do that, if we can love one another, if we can show, we see people that even ordinary young children that live in their house, they cannot extend love to innocent children that live in their house. They cannot extend love to people who work with them. If you look at all the problems African people are having, is that lack of love. If you look at the judiciary, it's the same lack of love. Why? Because they don't have love. They cannot expend justice. They can't. It is not in them, because love means justice. Love will bring justice. Love is kind. Love is patient. But there's no love. There's no love. There is absolutely no love. And unfortunately, at the end of the day, African people have built their own chains, and they hold themselves down with their own chains, you know, invisible chains. I don't know how it's going to change, honestly. But it's a very sad person. And I've seen a post where she wrote something that if she passes, that she's supposed to be, that they should put her on the ground quickly, and that if they wanted to celebrate her, they should celebrate her while she's alive, so she can know about it. I mean, I didn't see the post when he went out. They said she said so. I don't know if it is true, but that's kind of telling. Like, if this was her wish, I would expect that they would do something like that when she was 70. Like when she was 70 years old. That's when they're supposed to do that kind of party and say, oh, marking her 70th birthday, celebrate her works. I don't know if something like that happened though, but I didn't see it happen. So at the end of the day, it's like we remember our heroes and our legends. We tend to celebrate people when they are past, when they are no more. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but that's how it is. You don't know what you have until you lose it. It's true. So fare thee well, great one. You lived a full life. You did your own. You know, you passed your message, you transcended decades. It's interesting to see someone growing as a child, and then you see the person as a teen, you see that person as they are becoming an adult, a motherhood, and the person was still there. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, we have to say farewell. So I just want to use this as my own way to say thank you. We appreciate you. We love you. May you continue to rest in power. Amen. Amen. Good evening, Igwe. I greet you. Yeah, so I want to give some update about Ijele also. Yeah, so I want to give this updates concerning our brother Ijele. There are some people that are going around and spreading fake and false information that Ijele is still inside because of lack of money, that nobody has the money to release him, and that they are looking for money. That's why he's still there since they have granted him bail and all those kind of a thing. Ignore these people. These people are just lying. And there are a lot of people that direct hate and dislike and all kinds of dark energy towards us, or people who try to stand for the truth in these issues revolving around these people. I don't know where their anger is. Like what is it that you want to humiliate about, or what you want to be happy and mocking about? Since that day Ijele is inside, the thing that is going on is also going on. Life is going on. Oh, we are having people past in this since that time Ijele is inside there. Hmm? Is it Ijele that is holding your life or whatever it is? This weekend, those of you that are on my WhatsApp, I share some updates. You guys, you saw what is going on. You saw what is going on. It's not on the mainstream media, but it still continue. It's going on there. When we speak about it, they say, "Oh, we are projecting. We are making the place. We are the one making the place ungovernable. We are the one projecting insecurity in an area that we are not participants in any way. We are just kind of relaying what is going on. But whether we relay it or not, what is going on there is going on. So it is really false and shameful that some people are going around and peddling news that, oh, Ijele cannot come out because of money, that there's no money, they cannot help him, they cannot get money. I've told you guys before that this is not about money. There are other issues involved here. Yeah, and yeah, the family knows best, and the family don't want to release more information because there's a lot of, you don't my people, you don't understand the level of gang up that we've done against Ijele. So my hope and prayer for him is that at the end, that God Almighty will see him through and that he will triumph. And those people that are morading as that they are serving God and that they are Christians, in the end they will be exposed for what they are, workers of iniquity. And those people who go about collecting bribe and giving bribe to pervert the cause of justice. Bible says vengeance is mine, and he will visit them in vengeance. So don't listen to people that who go around and peddle fake news and say, oh, he cannot come out because of money. It's money that is holding him there. Is What kind of money is that? What kind of money is that? So at the end of the day, I just want to leave it here. Ijele is fine by the grace of God. I just want to leave it there, that we are hoping for a full recovery and full emergence from this problem that he's going through at this point in his life. And yeah, like I said, it's a learning curve for each and every one of us. What is happening to Ijele, it's kind of putting the spotlight on the issues on ground, and the level of the perversion of justice that is going on in Nigeria. And yeah, so it's just for us to take note of that. And nothing happens without a reason. And even as the Bible says it in Romans chapter 8, it said, all things work together for good. So there is always a reason why God allowed this thing to happen. And life goes on. Life goes on. Nobody is indispensable in this life. We are all here on a brief journey. At some point, we are going to walk away. There's nobody that is going to live here alive. How to say it? Everybody at some point we have to bow out. And so the people that rejoice that they have power in offering other people, and they have the power to decide when somebody goes. They are also not a determinant of the day that they will close their own eyes, because that is the debt everybody is owing. So do not glory and do not be rejoicing because you have been able to off some people over the weekend, and you threaten that you off so many people and you are looking for how many people you want to off. You know, eventually it is a price that everyone will pay sooner or later. Yeah, so thank you guys, everybody. I want to appreciate you guys for uh staying steadfast and supporting me on this page. It has not been very easy, but God has kept us going, God has kept us strong, and nothing will deter us. And Ijele have played his own part. Ijele has played his own part. A lot of people couldn't speak up. A lot of people couldn't come out. I shared a post where the deputy senator was speaking and saying that somebody is tired of all the crying that is going on, and that somebody is already saying, well, the Southeast Development Commission is enough to do all the things that that they asked for. Southeast Development Commission will solve all the problem. It's already containing all the agitations that they are doing. Yeah, so that's it. So Southeast Development Commission it is. Yeah. So was it worth it? That's what the question you have to go and sit down and ask yourself. Ask your stupid selves, right? Was it worth it? And if you think it's worth it, then fine, fair and good. At the end of the day, everybody will see the result of what they did, or their action or their inaction. It is all there. So Ijele have done his part. Some of the people that said they needed Ijele's head on the platter, the same thing he said, they are the ones saying it now. And they are calling them hero, clapping for them. The same thing Ijele said. The same things Ijele said. Yeah. There's nothing different. Ijele said that some of them, the one that said give them Ijele head, is the one now. Iken Guragu, he's the one now championing, talking from both sides of his mouth, right? But does it take away the role he has played? I'm not God. God is the one that we see through everything that everybody have done in this life. Yeah, but there was a need, there was a vacuum, there was no one to stand up, and there was a man called Ijele Speaks, Chukwuka Ofebu. He saw the gap, he came up to the challenge. He put his life out there in defense of his country, eh? In defense of his country, in defense of his people. So by the grace of God, everything will be fine. And so those of you that are jollying and peddling fake news, since that day that Ijele is inside, what happened? Did your life stop? Maybe you are living your life. Are you not happy with your life? Why don't you go on with your life? Leave it to the fullest. Since Ijele is the one that holds you, you cannot live a full life. You cannot be happy in your miserable life until Ijele is inside. So since that day Ijele is inside, are you not living your best life? So why are you preoccupied with why he's outside and why he's not outside? Huh? So at the end of the day, I'm going to leave it like that, my people. Thank you so much for your continued support and prayer. So let's not forget to continue to pray for Ijele to make a full recovery by the special grace of God, and that he will overcome ultimately. No matter all the gang up, all the gathering against him, we are not dismayed. You know, we are not dismayed. Amen. Amen. May God be with Ijele. Amen. Our brother is saying something. Let me see. He said, it's shocking people are happy but that Mr. Ijele is in the session. Yeah, of course, they don't know. Good evening, Favor. I greet you. Igwe, I greet you. So I don't know what their problem is. I don't know what their preoccupation is with Ijele, and he, like, you would think these guys took something, that something was about to get into their hands, and he took it away from them. I don't understand this. I don't know. The power that comes from being able to off somebody. I don't know, but it's scary. Honestly, I don't know what is going on, but they can see, even though he's not there, whatever is going on is still ongoing. So yeah. Yeah, so I just wanted to touch on that so that everybody will know that what is going on. It's not about money. Disregard those people who are making all those commentaries and saying all those kind of things on social media. It's not true. It's not true. They are not insiders and they don't know what is going on. They don't know what is delaying the whole process. They don't understand or they don't want to understand. It's part of their business. It's not mine. But I just want to make it clear that it's not what it looks like, you know. Yeah. Yeah, so my people, I want to appreciate every one of you that joined me on this live. Um yeah, I don't know what else to say because I wanted to, during the protest I wanted to say one or two. I don't know what to say because at the end of the day, like when it comes to the protest, like I said, Nigerians, we are just tribes people defending our tribes, so yeah, at the end of the day, whatever you want to do is going to go down the tribal line. So I don't know, I don't see I don't see that Nigeria is going to go beyond that, like I don't know. I do not see Nigeria progressing in the state it is now with the caliber of people we have as politicians. I don't see it going beyond tribe, my tribe, your tribe, someone from I don't see it going beyond that. And that's just the reality of the whole thing. So whether someone is doing well or is not doing well is going to, be seen through that, perspective of his ethnicity. So that's the kind of government that they are running. So at the end of the day, that's the kind of government is going to be, regardless of what the fact is going to, it's not going to matter. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I don't even know what to say, but I believe that um, citizens should have the right to protest and nobody should take that right away and nobody should support taking away that right because you don't know tomorrow. You don't know tomorrow because tomorrow you may be the one that will need people to go out there and protest on your behalf to your own benefit. So that's why wherever you are, do not be among people that will campaign against people having that right to vent. Yeah. Yeah, are there a possibility that those people venting will also derail and lose and stuff like that? Yeah, there is always that possibility. It's always there. I shared a video where there was one guy was videoing. He had a smartphone. He was videoing as they were marching, and the same people he's protesting with that are protesting that Nigeria should be good or that end bad government, for example, as he was going like this videoing, they just took the handy from him. They like it's like their own on that protest ground is to collect people's smartphones. So you went on a protest to end bad government, and the same people that want to end bad government are not ending their own bad character that they have come with. They are collecting people's phone. I don't know what that means. So um the rot is from the top already, so the youth already damaged. The mindset of the youth is corrupt. Yeah, so even if you say let the youth, like, what have the youth learned from the elders? I don't know. I really don't know what will change. What have the youth learned from the elders? Especially if you see all the youth that are from, let's say, from 20 to 50 today, or from what have they learned from those people who are 70 or who are, let's say, 65 and above? What can they say they learned from them that will make them pious men of integrity, patriotic citizens? There's nothing. I personally, I don't know. I may be different. I don't know, because the way we experience Nigeria, growing up in Nigeria, living in Nigeria, our individual experiences is very different. There are people who were from good families, buoyant families, who had relatively good lives. And there are people that are from very poor families, very difficult life, couldn't go to school, couldn't afford meals and stuff like that. So people's experience of Nigeria is different. You understand? So because of that, I'll just be wondering, like, I don't think that blaming the youth is the problem. The youth are not the problem. The youth inherit the problem. The youth are facing the problem. Most of Nigerian youth that are from, let's say, from 20, from 18 to 45 today, I don't know, most of the benefit that they have has been self benefit. Like the country have not really benefited them. They had to struggle through everything, through school, through everything, through trade, through learning, through, like, they have the struggle has been real for most Nigerian adults of today. um Whereas the elders, I don't know what they can say they taught the youths, other than beating them, beating, um yeah, I don't know. And most Nigerian people don't even know that beating your child is a colonial mentality. I've said this thing before. A lot of people complain when they are abroad that they are not able to beat their child. They need to go to Nigeria to teach the children moral. I don't know about America, because that's another culture altogether, because of the history of persecution of black people, and their own is extreme, and the possibility that everybody have guns and all, that's another story. But here in Europe, for example, here in Germany, you cannot tell me that children in Nigeria are well behaved, are more better behaved than children in Germany, even though they are not beating them. Even though they are not beating them. You understand? So at the end of the day, that beating that we have learned, beat, suffer, punish. So people take it up and think people need to learn the hard way. People need to suffer. People need to suffer before anything can happen. So we really take it up. But we are not asking, where is it coming from? Greetings. Greetings. It's not coming from our forefathers. It's coming from the way the colonial master deal with us. That beating, maltreatment of children, all that lack of is coming from the way colonial master deal with our forefather. When they come, they will flog. They call it this. You went to their school, they will beat, flogging. That's where it started. Before, people that came, people that did not go to school, elders, old, I don't know any of you that experienced grandmother, great grandfather that they did not go to school. They do not beat children. They don't have it. It is not African culture to beat children. But today, African people cannot afford not to beat their children, like beat them like beast of body. They will beat. And that's the only training they give to children. Yeah? That's the only training they give to children. Beat. Yeah, who gave you that Bible? Spare the rod and spoil the child. Before they gave you the book that wrote spare the rod and spoil the child, how did our forefathers treat children? That's what you need to try to learn. And I was thinking that when they say go back to the roots, they'll be talking about finding out the ways, the life. But what do? They are still doing bad things, evil things, buying people, doing ritual, woman, this thing. You understand? So at the end of the day, that beating, like our forefathers, our grandmothers, our grandfather, they did not do that. It was not in their way. They had their way of disciplining children, and it does not entail beating them like beast of burden. There are some people they will even be trying to save the child from them. Okay, the child that you have not taught compassion, you are beating and hardening him. Where will he now get love from? You that you are his parents, you that he's coming from you. You have not shown him any love. You have not shown him any compassion. There's a video I saw today. A young girl was telling the story of how she burnt indomie she cooked for herself. Noodles, she cooked it for herself. It burnt in the process. She went to put it in the sink to wash it, and the mother came and brought that food that is already contaminated with soap and sat down and made sure that she eats it. That's wickedness. That is not training. That is not training. That is mean-spiritedness. And that is what the slave master did to those people. They were so brutal. Like there was one that they will put hand like this, they will be cutting the hand. It's on video. They did it in some African communities to teach them. Even you as a father, you cannot save your child if they say that you're pikin. They will, for your present, they put their hand like they cut am. That's how brutal they were. But today, tell African people that don't stop beating your children. It's like you are taking something away from them. Don't you have any other thing you can teach your children other than beating? And then you wonder why our country is so violent. Only violence. Everything violence. Our streets are full of, if you are going, there's no safety. Everybody is afraid. Everybody is afraid. Nobody is safe. Why? Because the foundation is already destroyed. Even if they say spare the rod and spoil the child, that's it. So okay, oh, spare the rod, and then you know you will hit the rod and hit the rod. You know, it's too much. An African person cannot know how to correct a child unless they have beat that child. Eh? Exactly. We need love, compassion, moral guidance. Sometimes you are beating a child. The child don't even know, why are you beating me? Why are you shouting? You shout, 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 and beat, beat, and you have not taught the child anything. And what the child starts to hide, the child cannot be themselves near you because they don't know how you will react. They cannot tell you what is going on in their life. People don't know their children. There are people that their children are armed robbers. They don't know because you never took the time. They learn to perfect the person you want to see. You never got opportunity to learn who your child is. Either you force them to be what they don't want to be just for your own glory, for your own, what we have in Africa is toxic parenting, and you can see it in the youth. Toxic parenting. And you can see it even when we come to society that are functioning well. Like you see that, okay, they've already trained their children, teach their children their laws, their rules. Even, for example, you will see their children, they will be standing on red light. You will see that light is right. There's no car coming, but because they've been taught, don't cross red light, they will stand and wait for that light to turn green. But you only learn how to beat your child. There's nothing else that your child know how to do. Do you know that many of our children, they have problem in the school here because here they will just tell them something once. Okay, they will just tell them the plan. Okay, so we are doing like this, we are doing like, they don't expect to be repeating themselves or shouting. But your own pikin that you have been shouting for, you'll be waiting for them to shout before you will think it is serious. Don't know that they have, the whole thing is said, is agreed upon. Everybody will do what is said. So where will the children, young people, where did they get the love from? Where we don't have that love from nowhere. And then when we come abroad, then we begin to face another side of that hate. They call it racism. Because they have already taught them that people like this, they are not human beings. And because of all those behavior we are coming from with at home, it's not easy. So it has been a life of struggle for Nigerian youth and African youth in extension. The suffering is too much. Why? Because the leaders don't have love. They don't have compassion. They only know how to suffer people. If your only way of training a child is to beat the child, suffer the child, starve the child, and if you go to government position, you become a governor, you become a senator, you become a lawmaker, you become any head of any organization, where will that love come from? Where will that compassion come from? Something you did not get from home. It's not going to come because you don't have it. You cannot give what you don't have. That's why people are mean. Like in Nigeria, if you work for a Nigerian, it's very hard for them to pay you your salary. Like salary that you work for, it will be very hard. Like they will not even factor in that you wake up every morning, you go out and do this work for them, so that they don't, like, for something is missing. If you work for a Nigerian person, very hard for them to pay you your own salary that you work for. It will be like They should sack you and bring in another person so that the person will come and work. When the person don't ask for the money, you sack it. Why? Because they are mean spirited like that. That is what you gain from beating and subjecting children to childhood trauma. And the child, you'll be beating a child, the child will say, please ma, I'm sorry, I beg. You will not hear. You will beat and beat and beat. And then that same child, when he go to high position, you want to come and tell him I beg. Where will he learn how to say, oh, he said I beg, he said he's sorry? He doesn't have it in him. He did not learn it. This thing that is happening in Africa is very deep. When they say emancipate yourself from mental slavery, you have to go to the root. Because do you know the way they beat people that are under colonialism and under slavery? Do you know they were not even like human being? They will beat you. Like, even if they beat you there, you go die there, they go bury. That's it. Nobody will ask them because you are their property. That's how it was. And now we transfer it and we are beating. Everybody showing wickedness. And that wickedness is transcending into everything we are doing. You make a person police, you will begin to shoot indiscriminately. You make somebody a judge, you will begin to throw people indiscriminately into prison. You will not have compassion that this person has a father, this person has family, nothing like that. So the thing is deep. We are looking at the wrong place. We are looking at the wrong place, honestly. I hope that somebody will take something away from here. I want to encourage you today, if you are a young parent and you are raising children, do them a favor today. Find out other ways that you can discipline your children and teach them morals, not by violence. Not by violence. Because that violence is an energy. You can't destroy it. Once you put it there, you cannot destroy it. It's an energy that will go around and reverberate and reverberates. It's not going to go away. So if you have young children, learn not to use violence on them. Learn to show them love and compassion. Teach them empathy. And that empathy will come back to you because they have seen it happen. If you are mean to people in their presence, they are learning that from you. They will not have compassion. And sometimes you wonder, for example, you see some people, they will tell them that their mother is a witch and all those things. And the way they will turn, you will wonder why. Because why? They have seen you being mean. They have no compassion. So the thing is deep. The thing is deep. For example, they give governors rice to go and share to their people. They hoard it. They can't share it. Why? Because they don't learn it. Because when they were in their homes, their mother didn't give food to children that were not from their house. The children that she did not give birth to, she did not feed them well. She did not clothe them well. So it is hard for a Nigerian leader to just do good just like that. It will like just like that. It's hard for them because they didn't learn it from home. They didn't learn that compassion from home. So what they want, the only thing that they learn is how to impress, how to show you that they are better than you, how to show you what they have, the material thing that they have acquired, how they are bigger than you, how they surpass you. And that's what gives them joy. But that human interaction is missing. Every human interaction Nigerian people are having is they are showing off. That's why you see Nigerians that made it, they can't keep it to themselves. They just have to share. You got to know how good they are having it. You really need to see how good they are living. You need to see the good food they are eating. You need to see the best places they are traveling. You got to see it. They cannot, why? Because that's only what makes sense to them. That's what resonates with them. And that's why I would say, please, let's start from the children. Let's teach the children love. Stop hating so that your children will not hate. Be nice and kind to your children, to the children around you, whether you are their mother or not their mother, right? And that is how that child will learn how to love and to give freely, because loving results in giving freely. And when somebody learn how to give freely, that's when that person will be in a position of power, and he will be able to give freely. You'll be able to pay salary that somebody worked for example. You will not see it as a big deal. Somebody will work only, even in America, even here. If you work for a Nigerian, before you collect your salary, it will be very hard, because it's very hard for them. That's the money, they can throw it on the ground, they can throw it at a party, but to give it to you, knowing that your livelihood depend on it, is very hard for them. Why? They don't have it. They have not been taught to be compassionate. They have only been taught to show that they are bigger than you. They can be oppressive. Like I saw a video of Tonto Dike. Huh? I saw a video of Tonto Dike. She was having problem where, like, they were dragging money. She said she was owing somebody 2 million, and the person, there was some acrimony there, and she went to that man's shop to go and scatter the place. And the people that are working for that person there, they were kneeling down. They were kneeling down, begging her. Can you imagine? Like, in her rage, the people who are working in that office, they were kneeling down saying, Tonto Dike is a celebrity in Nigeria. Is that bad? People are kneeling down. People that normally they're supposed to fight you, they're supposed to do gara gara with you and say, oh, they were kneeling down and saying, please, please. But that thing, it did not get to her. She didn't see it. It couldn't go through her. There's no compassion. There's no love. You imagine somebody like that gets political power. Imagine somebody like Tonto Dike get political power, and you offend her. Or maybe you didn't really offend her. She sense and feel like you offend her. Imagine what can happen to you. If she can go into somebody's shop and they are kneeling down and begging her to not destroy their own shop, that their livelihood depend on. They are kneeling down. I don't know what else to say. So let's go back to our children. We have to teach the children how to love again. Let's find other means to guide our children, to counsel our children, without visiting violence on them, without making that violence to be embedded in their consciousness, in their subconsciousness, and let's stop depicting violent acts. It's not commendable, because it makes people numb. It's making people not to feel that impact of that suffering, because when it's always there in their face, it becomes normal, but it is not normal. So yeah, I don't know whether I derailed or I was talking all over the place, but I think I will leave it here. I hope I passed a message today. Yeah, I do hope that somebody will take something away from this tonight, and by the grace of God, I will see you guys in not so long again. Yeah, have a very blessed week. Bye for now. Greetings, Ali Gaba. Greetings. I'm almost on my way out. Yeah. So I don't know if anybody wants to add anything. I'm always open for that. Yeah. So I've not been regular this whole time. So I know that yeah, it's a little bit difficult for my followers. So I will leave you guys here. I hope that you have a great week ahead, and may God be with each and every one of us. Bye for now.